Hello, everyone. This is Seth with Gimp Games, coming at you with this week's update. This has been a pretty crazy week as far as work that's been accomplished. I started thinking last week that I was going to start focusing on putting a pin in everything that I have and focus on getting a first playable out for people to try and give me some feedback on combat, elemental abilities, how it feels. And everything. So I've kind of been working on polishing. Well, first I set up a scope for what I'm trying to do. The scope is I cut it back from 8 elements to 4 elementals. And still having just the 3 weapons, 3 reaction types or 3 different combat stances, and yeah, that's what I'm going with. So I guess I'll just kind of dive into it. This week I've been polishing the fire, water, air, and earth elemental abilities. I'm pretty good with where they are for now. I may tweak some more things. The next round of things that I have coming up are going to be working on procedural hit reactions from enemies. So like when I hit them with a weapon, they like take damage or they get knocked back or kind of interrupts their attack. I'm also going to be working on, let's see, a couple other things. Trying to find my list here. Procedural hit reactions. I'm also going to work on an elemental UI, which is going to be, you'll be able to go into, just through a pause menu, you'll be able to go into and see your active elementals, and you'll be able to see the abilities, the details, what they are. You'll also be able to read up on the elemental a little bit, like the theme of what their kind of abilities are based around and stuff, just to give you an idea as to what they are. And then the last thing I'm going to do is weapons pass, meaning that I'll add slashing, piercing, and blunt characteristics to weapons, and then some extra combat abilities and stuff that go with those. And then finally, I'm going to be doing a bunch of tuning around all of those things. And then that'll kind of be it for the combat pass. Finally, the last couple things on the roadmap are going to be, I'm going to build a small generative world. There's going to be 4 biomes total in it: mountains, coastal, volcanic desert, and and the plains. So those will be the 4 elemental or the 4 biomes that I'm going to be having. And I'll also be designing kind of a tutorial, setting it up so that way the player can jump into the game and start learning how to play. And then there'll also be, I'll plan out about 5 or 10 minutes worth of gameplay for the player to kind of explore the world, see what it looks like, and just get a feel for what it's gonna, what the game's gonna kind of play like, at least for the combat. So that's the plan. And I've already rambled quite a bit. So without further ado, I will dive into what I've accomplished. So this week, worked on all elementals. I'll start with fire. Fire was the first one that I started working on. And pretty much what fire is it's a higher damage, high cost energy abilities that cause enemies to, you can see here, these guys are kind of getting caught on fire. And now they're stop, dropping, and rolling to try to extinguish themselves because they took a lot of damage. You can see here they're not doing all that great. Oh no. Hiya. Hey, run away. So fire, what these will do is they're... Oh, whoops, that was water. Well, so fire will also add this. So you can see here, I cast a fire ability on top of a water ability, so we had like a steam burst. Did kind of a big AoE burst of damage. When these guys are walking through the fire, you can see that they started smoldering. Here, let me do another one of these. So you can see they're smoldering and stuff. And then they're also dripping water. So that guy, he was on fire, but he extinguished almost immediately because he's currently wet. So, oh, not that one. I want this. So steam burst, boom. Takes damage. And I'm going to have to build up some momentum here. These sound effects are terrible, but I also really need to, now that I'm playing the game and everything, I really need to adjust the combat speed for the weapon attacks because they're too slow, much too slow. Hiya! Oh, and then I'll also show you what the reaction looks like. So the reaction gives me the ability to increase my morale generation, which you can kind of think of is the blue bar above. What the morale generation does is it acts as an overshield on your health, so you can stand here and see I get hit, and you see the blue bar actually reducing. And you can see these guys are all smoldering and stuff. So right now their action economy is slowed, so they're slow. They're attacking much slower. Yeah, get all these guys burn, burn. And then these guys, if they stay in the fire for long, they'll start gaining up to 3 marks, which is kind of tiers of environment. So while they're or tiers of, I don't want these guys to fall off the edge. Tiers of what they're like their attack. So for the first tier, which is kind of smoldering for fire, or mark tier 1, their action is slowed, so they can attack like about 40% slower. Tier 2 means that they actually ignite and they're burning, taking damage over time. Then tier 3 means that they have the potential to, on death, they'll kind of fall down, die, and explode, and spread tier 1 to 2 marks as well as damage across all enemies in the area. So it's kind of interesting. Oh no, morale is down. It's kind of interesting in that it'll turn into where's this guy? So you could turn these guys into, eventually kind of dangerous little spreaders of fire and stuff. So that'll be really cool in the middle of mass combat and everything. Clearly there's no physics involved with these guys, but anyway. So for water, water is, so this has a puddle system. Well, I guess I'll continue talking about the fire. So the main thing for Fire Slice, there was burning marks and personality-driven enemy responses. Enemies now react on being on fire based on their temperament. This goes back to the aggressive, cohesive, and cunning personality traits. Then retreat from the spot where they were ignited before extinguishing rather than standing in it. Readability with visual effects, the smoldering, and then the kind of flame look of the guys, and then the fire feeds the morale stat, which is, as I was saying, the blue bar. Water slice. So for water, we have what I call the puddle system, and pretty much every ability applies you can see how this guy's kind of dripping, and what he does is every time he attacks, he'll kind of leave like a puddle somewhere. Oh, and then when they're wet and they're within a water position, they have a chance, depending on the surface. You can see you just dropped a puddle here. Depending on the surface, if they're on stone, they have a chance to slip on attack. If they're on dirt or soil, they will have their movement speed slowed because they're kind of wading through mud. And then if they're in like sand or something, then they have a chance to be rooted on attack because they have... it's kind of like an undertow effect. It'll sink them down into the ground, so they'll be rooted for a few seconds, and then they can get themselves up again. See, per element marks and surface procs, water and fire produces steam bursts. So as I was showing you before, we have... Oh, I want this right here, and then I want this. Boom, steam burst. Oh. Or wait, no, that didn't do it. It's because I didn't have I did use the heavy attack and not the actual fire hazard zone attack. But anyway, so if you there is a kind of a first in first out rule. So if there's an existing fire hazard and you cast a water, or if there's an existing water hazard and you cast a fire on it, then it'll turn into like a big burst of steam that'll kind of hit everything in the area. But the fire will be gone, and then so will the water. And then there's also a different system in which, so each element will react to existing hazard zones, which I think is really freaking cool. See, going back to water. Oh yeah, the per element marks and surface procs. Water powers the momentum engine. So momentum is the blue bar down at the bottom of the screen. You can see it's gaining as I'm moving, and then when I make an attack, Haha, miss. When I make an attack, I gain a little burst of momentum. And this is the resource that actually fuels the magic abilities of the character. Excuse me. New enemy behaviors: undertow, drags, drag and slip reactions. I already kind of talked about that. Air slice. So we will switch elementals. I'll go to air. Air is on the right. Wind volume. So directional wind zones that physically push players and enemies and projectiles. So we can see here. So we'll go there and then push that guy, and you can see that this. Oh, that's just the wind wall. So that's the wind wall, and we'll go here, and this time we'll cast the actual storm front. Oh wait, but I'm pushing it the wrong way. Damn it! All right, and go. Oh, I don't have the mana or momentum. Oh, I died. Sad. All right, so here, we'll go back. I'll show you the two main abilities. One of them is a wind wall. What it does is it'll actually block projectiles. And the other one is a moving wind wall called Stormfront, and it will push enemies away from the player. So you can see there, it's pushing him. He's trying to go around it. Can't really. All right, and go. And you can see this, the wind wall actually blocks the projectiles. So I think that's pretty cool. It doesn't do much in the way of damage. It does a little bit of damage, but not a crazy amount. But it's mostly meant to kind of give the player. So if you're getting ganged by a bunch of melee characters, and then there's a ton of ranged enemies out there shooting pot shots at you or whatever, you can quickly put up a wind wall and then have them not be able to actually hit you. So. And it'll push back enemies too. So we'll go like this. Oh, I need more. Yeah, get pushed. I can go in here and get him. All right. So that's air. Air also governs the dodge mechanic. So you can see that your dodge distance is much farther when you're attuned to air. And it also reduces your cadence cost significantly. So right now, we'll let this get back up. So I'm 90. So 100% one dodge, and I'm down to 94%. Whereas if I'm in water and I do a dodge, I'm down to 85%. So it significantly reduces the cost of dodge. And it also lets you dodge farther. So switch. Oops. Maybe it doesn't dodge farther yet. But that's the plan, is it's going to have me dodge farther. And last but not least is Earth. Earth is mostly going to be kind of an AoE and specifically crowd control. So we'll go here. And you can see I just spawned this big area right here, and aggressive enemies, what they'll do is they'll try to kind of cut their way through it, whereas cunning enemies will try to skirt around it and find a way around. And then cohesive enemies will try to help their fellow enemies or get around it somehow. I don't remember the exact thing that I'm having them do, but it's... I can't think of it right now, but and then we can also go like this. Ooh. Oh wait, that was the wrong element. And then yeah, oh yeah. So you can see here I made a little dust devil. The dust devil will actually blind enemies. It picks a random direction and it moves around for a certain amount of time. It blinds enemies, and enemies, what they do is they remember the last, when they have a blind condition, they remember the last position of the player before they were blinded, and then they will, if they're aggressive, they'll kind of charge at the player and, just try to swing at them, whether they're there or not. And then cohesive characters will try to run away and not get hit, or not cohesive, cunning characters will try to run away until the blindness wears off, and... cohesive characters will try to actually run up and protect their blind allies and be like, no, I'll protect you, friend, because they're team players. And let's go like this. Pcha! Dust Devil! Dust Devil! Except it's got to be a little bit bigger and it's got to be around more guys. So you can see these guys, they have some kind of basic procedural particle effects coming off of them. I'm trying to get it to where players should be able to know exactly what's happening at all times. So you should be able to see the enemies. So this is their actual blind, so they can't see where they're going or anything. But that's their kind of blind effect. I should turn it into like a dark kind of blot over the eyes or something like that. But it's also hard to do this with these primitive blocks and stuff to show what they're doing. But anyway, so that's Earth. And then, as I was showing you guys, we have the multiple. We have the combined elementals that do stuff too, which is pretty awesome. I need to tweak this. So, oh, another thing that I can do is I'll just start beating this guy up. Yeah. And then, whoa, okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm almost dead. No. Oh, man down. So anyway, the combined abilities, I got all of the different combined abilities working together and everything. I have a newcomer kind of system to where the newest element that's introduced to a hazard zone, that's what triggers whatever the combined ability is. Let's see. Yeah, the 4 elements. Foundation of polish. So another thing that I accomplished was during the playtest, what I plan on doing is I'll have a kind of a telemetry logger kind of running in the background and just grabbing logs, stats like player ability, usage, how many times the player dodged, blocked, or parried, what abilities the player seemed to use, if the player found combinations and kind of favored them some more, whatever it might be. And then I can check things for, am I onboarding people enough with this particular skill set, all that different stuff. And then there'll also be at the end of the tutorial or the playtest, which, like I said, is going to be like 5 to 10 minutes. There will be a questionnaire, probably like 8 to 12 questions. The player will, hopefully they will answer those questions, and then there will be an extra feed box, text box that they can add whatever their thoughts are on the game. So hopefully they do that. And then at the end of that, if they submit those questions, they'll also have the option to allow the uploading of the logs that I collected on their in their gameplay session. They can choose to do that or not. If they choose not to, that's fine. If they give me the questions, I can still get some information out of it. But I plan to incentivize this by anybody that goes through and does this play test, if they want to get their name like in the credits of the game, assuming that I ship and everything. If they get their name in the credits, they can give me a name or a moniker or whatever they want to be called by. I'll have some controls in there for people making super duper inappropriate names. I mean, I'm okay with some shits and whatever else, but maybe even some F-bombs, but I'll try to be, there's some things that I won't be able to allow, but if people want to give me a moniker, I'll put them in a special thanks section, and maybe I'll even provide like some stats of like how many times they played through, how many questions they answered, how they impacted the game, something like that. I'll try to keep track of all that information, but yeah, that's, then death and respawn. You guys saw that. I died a couple of times. Combat audio, I got some sound effects and stuff in there, which they are still pretty loud, no matter how much I turn them down. See, health bar fixes. I got some, I just did some basic UI tweaks and stuff for health bar to better show more accurately values that are in there. And then first playable attunement config. That's pretty much talking about all of the first playable planning that I have. So, yeah, this is really exciting. Like, I'm kind of estimating that I'll have a first playable that I can release to family, friends, and colleagues and stuff like that in August. I'm hoping the beginning of August. I'm aiming for no later than the end of August. And then once I get some feedback and start tweaking some things from there, I'll build a V2 version of the first playable. I'll start kind of trying to send it out to anybody that wants to try it. So if you're interested and you want to help me out or give this a play sometime, please leave a message in the comments. You can also reach me through my website, gimptherogames.com. Just click the email me button, and then you can send me a message. I'd be happy to, look at sending you a demo when I have it and everything. Otherwise, this is starting to come together. It's starting to feel pretty good. I still got a long way to go to get it really, kind of there for players, I think. But I don't know. It's exciting. I'm getting there, you guys. This is great. So anyway, I thank you very much for your time. This has been a very long and rambling build. I'm trying to add notes so that way I don't just ramble and get sidetracked as I'm playing, because I can only focus on one thing at a time. But thank you very much. If you're still here and listening, thank you very much for your time. I hope that this is cool, and I hope that you think it's fun and inspiring, and that you kind of want to go and make something yourself too. So have yourself a wonderful time and a beautiful day, and thank you very much.